Good morning. Today we read from Matthew 15:29 through 31. Jesus went on from there and walked beside the Sea of Galilee. And he went up on the mountain and sat down there. And great crowds came to him, bringing with them the lame, the blind, the crippled, the mute, and many others. And they put him at his feet, and he healed them. So that the crowd wondered when they saw the mute speaking, the crippled healthy, the lame walking, and the blind seeing. And they glorified the God of Israel. This is one of those little passages that we sort of skip over a lot when we're going through the Gospels. You know, he did a little thing in between his big events. But this is a kind of a big event. You know, he heals all these people. Now, think about the ancient world. Medicine was, some ointment made out of tree leaves, and that was it. They didn't know how to set broken bones. They had no x-rays. They had no way of knowing what was going on inside you. They just did what they could, which didn't amount to much more than a cold washcloth on your head or something. So there's no medicine as we know it. There are no pills. There's no surgeons. There's none of that. So if you fall and break your leg and it heals crooked, live with it. Or if you have some other problem going on, you just have to live with it. You get blind, you can't see well, you need glasses, too bad. And Jesus comes along and heals all these people so that the blind can see again. And those whose eyesight is really bad can see. Those who can't walk because they fell and broke their leg when they were 12 can walk again. And other kinds of crippling injuries have been healed and sicknesses. And so people see this because they're all pointing at these guys and going, isn't that the guy that couldn't walk, that used to lay on the side of the road in a blanket? And now he's walking around. Or they see somebody who they know was too blind to see where they were going, walking around just fine. And so they see these people and they marvel. The other thing we have to remember is there weren't that many people back then. There weren't the same numbers of people that there are today. And so these villages tended to be much smaller, and everybody knew everybody, at least by sight. And so if suddenly you changed radically, they knew it. And they give the God of Israel glory. So they understand that Jesus comes from the God of Israel. He comes from God, and he's got a good message, and he's bringing health and healing to people, which is one of the things that God wants for his creation, is health and healing from all kinds of bad and evil things. And so Jesus brings that and begins to heal people. And of course, a lot of people want to be healed. They don't necessarily want to change their attitude or their behavior. And you remember that funny scene Monty Python did in one of their movies where Jesus is walking along and there's a beggar begging for money and, please give me some money, give me some money. And they just say, be healed. And all of a sudden he's healed. And so then he's running along behind him going, no, you took away my income. Make me sick again. Make me sick again. And so many people in our day want to remain sick because in some ways that's the comforting place, and that's where we know how to behave and we know how to make money and how to make an income, and we don't necessarily want our problems solved and our illnesses healed. So that's where we are today. Tomorrow we'll go on with the next piece where I think Jesus does more with that same crowd of people. And we'll see you then.